Hello friends, it's Kelly and I have been away for quite a while. Yesterday was the last day of school and I feel so happy and refreshed and ready to create and get back to doing some videos. It's been a while. So today I have the distinct pleasure and honor of getting to celebrate Ginger over at Ginger's Corner. She is on Facebook. She has a group. All those links are going to be down below, but we are celebrating her for her, she has 3,000 subscribers now and on her YouTube channel, which is amazing. She is such a sweet, sweet lady, a sweet soul, so generous and kind and always willing to help someone. And I'm blessed to call her friend, and she lives pretty close to me. So we've gotten to go have lunch together a couple of times, and I'm truly honored to call her friend and to get to be a part of her journey and celebrate her for her 3,000 subscribers. So today, the one thing that she wanted us to do, because if you know Ginger, which I'm sure most of my subscribers do, she is the queen of scraps. She uses scraps down to the tiniest little piece, and I love that about her. She's a very frugal scrapbooker, and these days we have to be, right? So if you're looking for tips and inspiration on how to use your scraps, she's your girl. So go check her out. And all the other people who are participating in this hop celebrating Ginger will be linked below. So check them out too, because today we are all using our scraps in honor of Ginger. So that's what you see here. I have my pictures ready. I'm a little rusty because I have not scrapbooked. I've done like paper projects, but I have not scrapbooked a layout in at least 3 weeks, I want to say. So, and I haven't filmed, so I'm a little rusty. So bear with me. So these are my scraps that I pulled from my scrap bin. This is my kind of my overflow. Whenever I have scraps, I just throw them in here, and eventually all of these will be filed into my rainbow folders. And eventually those in the rainbow folder will be used to make base pages or other things. So, but that's kind of my overflow. I haven't filed them yet. So these are the things that I picked. Some like really pretty greens and blues, which is my go-to. I always lean towards these colors. And then I always love a pop of yellow. And my inspiration for this whole collecting all of these scraps was this paper here. Because one thing I'm going to use in my layout is this little girl. And this is a paper pieced die set that I got from BB Crafts. And this is a company that reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to work with some of their projects or some of their products and create projects. And I said, absolutely. So I never have enough dies, I feel like, lately. So I created this little girl right here with this die set. And then it also comes with this die set, which I'll show you on the back. Just super cute and fun to use. So I'll be creating her next. But yeah, there is a link in the description box below for this die set if you're interested, and there's also a coupon code. So another great company to find some really inexpensive dies. So check those out. And I created, let me show you while I have this. I made 2 of these little girls. I actually made 3, and the first one was my kind of practice. And I didn't do her arms right. I had her arms like sticking up and they looked silly. So it's helpful to have these pictures to see how the die is meant to be used. So when I actually, because I didn't look at the picture first, I actually just made her and when I went back and looked, I was like, oh, well, that makes more sense. Her arms don't look crazy now. So anyway, that's a lot of ado without getting on to the project. So these are the scraps I pulled, and I have way more here than I'm probably going to be able to use, but I said all of that to say this was kind of my inspiration for pulling in other pieces. So of course most of it is Maggie Holmes, because I love Maggie Holmes, all the things. So these are just things that I pulled. This, I don't know. I love the little birdie, and I thought that might be cute to cut out, but we'll see. It's kind of a different style than what I have going here. This was embossing, Tim Holtz embossing folder that I'm trying to learn how to use in my Gemini, which is kind of, as you see, it like cut through. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I thought I might try to throw that in. And this is the biggest piece of paper. And I'm going to go pull in a solid sheet of 12 by 12 white cardstock. And then I had these, which I'll probably use for matting or titles. I don't know. So that is all my scraps that I pulled and why. And then also I am participating in a hop called Stamp It Like It's Hot. And just like the title of the series says, we're trying to use our stamps. And this month's, what is it called? This month's challenge was to create a stamped title. So I am going to use this set from Felicity Jane to create a title, and I'll also use this for the date. So, and one last thing before I get started, this is my granddaughter in front of the rose bush, and it is my tradition to take pictures of her and her brother every year in front of the rose bush to see how they've grown. And I don't know, it's just something that I think is pretty and I like doing. So this was this year's photo in front of the rose bush. So, all right, I'm going to quit talking and I am going to get busy on this layout. So thank you for being here, and I'm going to kind of fast forward the end. If I need to talk or explain something, I'll pop in and do that. So I'm going to get busy scrapbooking. Thanks for being here. Bye. I finished this layout and I am so pleased with how it turned out. I really love how everything kind of came together. I was able to stamp my title for Stampin' Like It's Hot. That challenge, I used my homemade embellishment here, which Ginger would be so proud, and I got to create a layout celebrating Ginger's 3,000 subscribers. So I was really happy that I got to use some of these stickers. I kind of set them aside with the idea that I would use those as my embellishments, part of my embellishment clusters, and I was able to do it. I did have to, I initially stuck this down and had to pull it back up, but which was no big deal. I just backed it on some white cardstock, and that way I could stamp it without, you know, ruining the whole layout. As you saw, I used my cheap little stamping tool I got off of, I don't know, AliExpress or Amazon or one of those places, and it works like a charm. I used lots of stickers from this Jen Hadfield sticker set. And like, this has been in my stash for ages. So I was really happy to get some of those used since 2019. So quite a while. And yeah, got some of those used. As you notice, I made the stickers work for me. Like, I love the little animals on there, like the hedgehog and the little raccoon, but it didn't really go with what I had going on here. So I just cut the flowers off because that's really what I wanted. Since she's has a rose bush behind her, I wanted the theme to kind of go with a floral, which, who am I kidding? I always want flowers. I always want florals. So I used some of my Heidi Swap stickers, which I set those out because a few of them match. So I used this and this. And yeah, used my stamps that I intended to use. I used the happy and the smile, so happy smile. And then I used this date stamp from Aspen. Well, it's called Aspen. So I got to use that down here. So I'm overall really, really happy with this. I love that I created my own embellishment and that I used everything was a scrap as far as paper goes, except for the background sheet. So I feel like I did Ginger justice with using my scraps and celebrating her 3,000 subscribers. So be sure to go check her out. Check out all the other people. There's a playlist linked below so you can go see everybody who is celebrating with Ginger. And discount code for BB Crafts for their dies, and I will link this little girl die if you're interested. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.